it's said and done, I still be there, cause I'm in it to the end. Hey, it don't really matter how the fuck it go down.
Our children have been misguided and taken advantage of, and true freedom lies in our financial freedom. But financial freedom is so far away when you're struggling day to day. We've been required to pay and work, and that has broken our families, destroyed our communities. People are suffering internally because of the hidden external pressure. This is why the truth is so important. You have those that are blessed, come from good families, with good knowledge, get the best schooling, and are hidden from the problems that lower society faces. But lower society makes up more than half of this country. Middle class makes up a third. Upper class, the rest. This is more than music. This is more than just somebody saying some shit over some beats. This is my story. This is my hope to inspire. This is my hope to remind anyone feeling hopeless that it ain't over till it's over. Fathers are so important to the family dynamic. They're the powerhouse. They're the strength. They're the courage to stand up against anyone who wishes harm. They're the backbone when all hope seems lost. The courts and the judicial system has removed that power from the father and then financially incentivized the woman to take that power and yield it against the father, therefore breaking the spirit of the man. Some are not strong enough to survive this. Some simply go in the hole and pray for the dirt to fill it in. We as fathers must understand that without us, our family may survive, but they will never thrive. Because the holes that is placed in our children's hearts from our absent will never be filled. Therefore, continuing the cycle, or as we call it, generational curse. This is the system. This is the trap. So my question to you fathers is how you gonna act? Now the next layer. Our parents may have meant well when they took us to the doctors because we seemed a little off. But the drugs that they prescribed us was an extremely deadly cause. I want you to picture this dynamic. You take a 6-year-old little child and you give him an amphetamine till he turns 18. And then you turn your back on him when he becomes a drug addict. Because you raised him better. Did you raise him better? Or did you teach him how to be a drug addict? And that's just on the conscious level. On the subconscious level, look at what amphetamines and methamphetamines do to adults. Paranoia, lack of sleep, loss of appetite. social disconnection. And then you do that to a 6-year-old child. You are hardwiring that child for depression, pain, misery, social anxiety, pretty much any other ailment that you could come up with. Now, I'm not here to point fingers. We just can't fix things unless we acknowledge them. We can't even come to the table with solutions if we don't acknowledge what the problem is. This is a big one. Our daughters get depressed and we give them Xanax. And we wonder why she turns to opiates and other things to depress her feelings. Because we never taught her how to talk about them, how to confront what's bothering her, or giving her a place where she feels safe to communicate what's on her heart. These things are important. These things are necessary for our children's survival. Because without that, now we're setting them up for the trap, which is hopelessness. And when you become hopelessness, death seems like the easiest answer. Because you have nothing left. You would just rather die. And for some of y'all out there who don't emotionally, internally reflect, then this will go over your head. But for anyone who's cried themselves to sleep or thought about taking their own life, this is where it could be the first breath of the rest of their life or the last breath that they're ever going to take. This is extremely important. You have to acknowledge what you're up against. These systems were put in place. Okay, you can be a victim or you can reject it. Remove all the programming and rewrite your own script. But it's going to be hard. Because the only way to change something is to care about it and to acknowledge that it exists. And sometimes it's a lot easier to be a victim than to look in the mirror and say, I'm wrong for this. My way of thinking is wrong for this. My actions through this process was wrong. Let me not do this again in the future. It's a lot easier to just be a victim, and I get it. But that is never going to ever get you out of the hole that you're in. And the shame and the guilt will only compound until you are buried in a fucking box. And your children don't know you, and they're headed for the same fucking box. This shit more than music to me, y'all. This is my fucking life. And just when I think I made it out the hole, I realize I got 24 more feet to fucking go. And that's fine. Because at least I can see the sunshine. At least I know what I know. Because I looked in the mirror and I accepted my humility. And my goal in all of this is to help others do the same. Because when I die, I leave my babies in this world. And if this world is suffering, and I didn't do anything to try to make it better, then ultimately, I'm setting my children up to live in a world that's suffering, that I knew about, and I didn't take the steps necessary to even try to make it a better world.
Promise. When it's said and done, I still be there, cause I'm in it. to the end. Hey, it don't really matter how the fuck it go down. I can put this right here on my soul now. Yeah, I'm in it to the end. I don't fuck around. Promise if you fuck around, they gon' have to find out. Find out when I'm running in your damn house, chopper in your damn mouth.